Julius Caesar, a name that echoes through time, a general, a dictator, a reformer, and ultimately a victim of betrayal. But how did one man rise from a relatively modest Roman family to become the most powerful figure in the Republic? And why did his closest allies feel they had to kill him? Let's explore the rise and assassination of Julius Caesar in just 10 minutes. Gaius Julius Caesar was born in 100 BCE into the prestigious Julian clan, but at the time his family wasn't especially wealthy or influential. He grew up during a period of intense civil unrest in Rome. Corruption was rampant, and the Republic was weakening. But young Caesar was ambitious, and from the start, he knew how to play the political game. He aligned himself with the popular faction, the populares, who claimed to represent the common people, rather than the elite aristocracy. Caesar also married well and climbed the political ladder fast. His charisma, sharp mind, and oratory skills made him a favorite among the people. But he didn't stop there. In 59 BCE, Caesar became consul, the highest office in the Roman Republic. Soon after, he was given control of Gaul, modern-day France, as governor. What followed were years of brutal but brilliant military campaigns. From 58 to 50 BCE, Caesar led the Roman legions across Europe, conquering vast territories and defeating powerful Gallic tribes like the Helvetii and the fearsome Vercingetorix. These victories made him a hero in Rome. He brought in wealth, land, and glory, and most importantly, loyal soldiers who would follow him anywhere. But his growing power worried others in Rome, especially the Senate, and one man in particular, Pompey the Great. Once allies, Caesar and Pompey became bitter rivals. In 49 BCE, the Senate, under Pompey's influence, ordered Caesar to disband his army and return to Rome as a private citizen. Caesar knew that if he returned without protection, he could be arrested or worse. So instead, he made a historic move. He crossed the Rubicon River with his army, uttering the famous words, "Alea iacta est," the die is cast. This act of defiance sparked a full-blown civil war. Caesar marched on Rome. Pompey fled to Greece. In 48 BCE, at the Battle of Pharsalus, Caesar crushed Pompey's forces. Pompey escaped to Egypt, but was assassinated on arrival by King Ptolemy, hoping to win Caesar's favor. Instead, Caesar was furious. But while in Egypt, he met someone who would change history, Queen Cleopatra. With Pompey dead and his enemies defeated, Caesar returned to Rome as dictator. At first, this was temporary, just 10 days, then extended to a year, then to 10 years. Eventually, in 44 BCE, Caesar was declared dictator for life. He introduced major reforms. He restructured debt, created the Julian calendar, gave land to veterans, expanded the Senate to include people from across the empire. To the people, Caesar was a hero, a man who brought order and prosperity. But to many senators, he was becoming a king in all but name. And in the Roman Republic, kingship was the ultimate taboo. They feared he would end the Republic forever. And so a conspiracy began to form. A group of over 60 senators began plotting to end Caesar's life. Among them were men Caesar trusted, including Brutus, whose family he had protected and even promoted. They called themselves the Liberators, believing that by killing Caesar, they would save the Republic. March 15th, 44 BCE, the Ides of March. Caesar was scheduled to attend a Senate meeting at the theater of Pompey. He was warned that morning. Even a soothsayer told him, "Beware the Ides of March." But Caesar ignored the warnings. He arrived at the Senate, unarmed and confident. As he sat down, the conspirators surrounded him. They attacked with daggers, stabbing him 23 times. According to legend, when Caesar saw Brutus among the attackers, he said, "Et tu, Brute? You too, Brutus?" Then fell, covering his face with his toga. Julius Caesar was dead, murdered by those who claimed to love Rome. The liberators expected to be hailed as heroes, but they were wrong. The Roman people were devastated, not relieved. Caesar had given them land, bread, and pride. His funeral turned into a riot. Mark Antony, Caesar's loyal ally, gave a passionate speech that turned the crowd against the conspirators. Soon the republic they tried to save descended into another civil war. In the end, Caesar's adopted heir, Octavian, later known as Augustus, defeated the conspirators and became the first Roman emperor. The republic was gone. Julius Caesar's assassination didn't stop tyranny, it made way for an empire. Today, his name lives on in everything from Caesar salad to the titles Kaiser and Tsar. He changed the course of history and paid for it with his life. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story of ambition, betrayal, and power, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more bite-sized history videos every week. Which historical figure should we cover next? Tell us in the comments. This has been Timelens. If history leaves you with more questions than answers, subscribe, because the past is never really past.